Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He's a tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. He is Rob Bass, and you are not. In the second corner, we have the monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. When she's not hosting Ringside Society, she's on crazy misadventures, such as searching for the fabled Cobra Kai dojo, dressing up as one of the Road Warriors, and picking fights with random strangers, and fighting dark magic voodoo women. Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. And in the third corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go, catch him if you can, said his name in Guyana, now they love him in Japan. No cap, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. And welcome once again to another show. We have a special guest with us today. He's a man who's about to show the wrestling world how it's done. He recently graduated from the Nightmare Factory in Georgia, Class 2. Please, everybody, please welcome to the show the Cornerstone of Perfection, Dean Hiram. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great today. Happy to be here. Hello, everyone.
Awesome. We really and truly appreciate you, taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. This really and truly means a lot to us. Like I said, when I first saw that you guys graduated, I was like, okay, y'all are on my list now. I'm going to try to catch each and every one of y'all. And I think you're my fourth one because I had Diamond Sheik before and then I had Charlie Avell. So, yeah, it's going to keep going on and on and on and on until I get everybody, hopefully. But thank you for being on our show. And how's the weather? You're in Georgia, right?
Yes, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Awesome. How's the weather over there, man?
I mean, it couldn't be any better. Outside of the pollen, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, I was just there. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I think I was in the wrong part because, unfortunately, I didn't have an Uber. I didn't have a car. I didn't rent a car. So I got a hotel that was right next to the airport. So if I wanted to go anywhere, like check out any restaurants or so on, it was like 30, like damn near $40 to go to Midtown. So I'm like, the only good thing was that the airport was like $8 away by Uber or Lyft. So I was like, okay.
You have to hit me up
But
next time you're in town, Remy.
yeah, I'm normally in College Park. And I've been to the Water Coca-Cola and the aquarium. And I tell you, man, I can't go to Atlanta too many times, man, 'cause I'm gonna come back bigger than I already am, man. Like y'all got some restaurants. I went to this fried chicken joint, and man, y'all hit me with that peach cobbler. Almost put me to sleep, man. Woo.
You
Yeah,
definitely have to
man.
need some discipline coming here with the food, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I gotta say first off, man, on behalf of myself, and Kathy and Rob, congrats on graduating, the Nightmare Factory and officially becoming a pro wrestler. We look forward to seeing
Thank
what
you.
you bring to the ring. We look forward to seeing you on AEW Dark and AEW Dynamite and all them other places, man. And yeah, man, and best believe when I see that happen, I'm gonna be like, yo, Kathy, Rob, turn on TV. Like, no, turn on the TV now. Look who's on TV. And they'll be like, oh, snap, Dean Hiram. Cool. You just had him
And
on the
then I'll
show.
be ready to come back again.
That's awesome. So, I tell you, y'all are always welcome on this show, man. We don't discriminate against people, man. Y'all are always welcome. If y'all say, hey, I want to come back on, definitely just let us know. We'll make it happen. But no, the first question I normally ask all wrestlers, and it's normally like we always take a trip back to the past. And this question I always ask is, what was the wrestling event or match that made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Actually, it was WrestleMania. I don't know if you remember when the tag match, came out in the polka dot yellow and black.
Hmm.
That was the first WrestleMania I vividly remember seeing. Just,
Woo.
probably saw some other things, but that I actually remember sitting in my grandmother's living room in Ohio with my cousin Corey. Uh, he showed me the tape, and I mean, I was instantly caught and locked in from that moment. And I mean, it's one of those things that it's a love-hate relationship sometimes, right? With wrestling as a fan, and over the years, we've
Yeah,
gone through some things, we've broken up, we've gotten back together, and
yeah.
here I am.
Trust me, I've been a wrestling fan for 30 years, and I can tell you that I've had time. I never thought I would actually like want to break from it, but I remember there was one time in 2010 I was like, man, I'm just gonna read the spoilers or whatever, man. I can't deal with it right now. I was kind of like, dissatisfied with the way things were. And then like 2011, I noticed that I was like, I did it through 2011 as well. But then when 2012 hit, I noticed that I didn't know half there was a match, a lumberjack match, and I was like, I didn't know like 75% of wrestling. I was like, who's this dude? Who's that dude? I know that's DH Smith, but who's that other guy? And I'm like, okay, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm getting back into watching wrestling, avidly, and yeah, it happens, man. Like just was it 2 years ago? I got burnt out too. I was like, man, I can't watch wrestling right now. I'm gonna take a couple months off and come back at WrestleMania. So it,
Yeah,
it happens, man.
and the lack of options, right, that are available, during that time, it was a
Yeah,
big part as well. I just happened to be in college in the mid 2000s, so I think I was lucky enough to have something else to take my attention away from the wrestling that I wasn't interested in. Then I say
right.
probably around 2012, 2013, I started edging back into it, and 8 years later, I'm in a school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm 37, about to be 38 next month, and I gotta say, I don't know what era you grew up in. I'm not gonna put you out there, but
Oh no, I tell everybody,
I,
look, I will be 35 this year, and I am proud of it. I'm from that
uh,
good era.
so we grew up, and Kathy's probably gonna kick my ass for this. Rob is probably gonna like scold me after this, like, man, Remy, no, you. But we actually grew up in an era where there was wrestling on Saturday morning. You got it on Sunday morning,
Yeah.
and unless you have the pay-per-views, you either saw stills of it or you heard about it from your friends in class.
Yeah, those were the
And
Todd Pettengill days.
yeah,
Yes.
and
He was always trying to sell you something, man.
I always,
Ugh.
yeah, with the 1-900 hotline and whatnot. And then when I look back at that and I look back at now, I'm like, man, these new generation fans don't even know how good they have it, man. You got well, first off, YouTube, and you got Fight TV, and they have a whole like plethora of like wrestling shows.
I
Like
remember
I can't
getting
even
in
keep up.
trouble for using those 1-800 and 1-900 numbers.
Oh,
Oh yeah, my mom will love that. Oh, I remember getting in trouble. I'm the only wrestling fan in the house, and I'm acting like I didn't call.
it wasn't me. Yeah, but yeah, I look back. It's amazing how far it's come in terms of like the amount of wrestling you can watch. Like, there's just so much. Like, you can't even like keep up with like everything. It's like, okay, this week I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch reality wrestling. Next week I'm gonna watch like WBA 4. It's just so much. So my next question I gotta ask, man. So now that you're a wrestling fan, you're cheering for the good guys and you're booing the bad guys. How did your journey go from professional wrestling fan to um into in-ring competitor? How did you like get into the school? How was your training? All that good stuff.
All right, so I had a very unique, I guess, introduction into this. When COVID started, beginning of 2020, working from home, I knew I needed something to just change my everyday habits of the norm that we were all going through. So I decided to lift weights for the first time. So I started building a gym in my garage. and started lifting weights, started training with one of my very close friends that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
And then over the year, month went by, made a joke to another friend, hey, if I ever get a shot, I would probably try out, wrestling. Just that little joke you throw out there. Um, then from there, it led to around December, I had another frat brother that I knew from college who would happen to be friends with Carly Bravo, who graduated from Nightmare Class 1. Somehow I ended up following him on Instagram. Then I decided, hey, well, I'm 34 years old. There's no way I'm going to be a wrestler at this age. Why don't I try to be a referee? There's not a big representation of minority referees, especially in AEW. So my number one goal was I want to be the first black referee on AEW TV. That was my initial jumping into this. Um, started an Instagram page called Bearded Ref because I just knew, okay, I'm about to build this referee profile and all that. One thing led to another. I started adding wrestlers on there. Came across Carolyn, who's QT's wife. She happens to be, she was the trainer as well. Wrote on one of her pictures, hey, I'm ready. She contacted me, let me know, hey, there was a class starting in a month. One thing led to another. She said, hey, if you want to be a referee through here, you're going to have to take bumps. I said, perfect. I want to be that referee. I'm a fan. I want to be the referee that takes the bumps, gets involved, probably overly involved in everything. And so day one class, I had every intention on being a referee. But after day one, I looked and said, yo, I can really do this. And I haven't talked about being a referee since. So here I am.
Ah, cool, cool. Um, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, what was the training? What was the training like for y'all? Was it like grueling? Was it a lot of cardio? I mean, if somebody was trying to like join the school, what would you recommend that they watch out for?
I would say don't join a school if you're not willing to put everything you have into it. Um, I still work full-time job, still have a family to take care of, just like many other people, right? Not everyone is quitting their jobs and just doing wrestling 24/7. So I was one of those people, along with people like Diamond Sheik, um, who just kept on with their normal lives, but found a way to fit this in. And the most important thing I would tell people is if all you have is an hour to put in, if all you have is 3 hours, put 100% into the time that you're putting forth, and it's going to pay off in the end. I'm 34. I haven't played football since high school, 2004. Haven't, we're talking 15, 16 years between organized sports for me. Um, and I was able to get in there and do some of the things and surprise myself. So don't ever tell yourself that you're too old, too big, too short. Um, just be willing to try. And, the best way to eat a whole elephant, for lack of a better expression, is one bite at a time. So that's really what I took into this training. I didn't try to come in and lift 200 pounds the first day. I worked my way up, and by the end of it, I was bench pressing 3 times as much as what I started. That came from doing the work. And once you do the work, I always say, now you have to perfect the craft. And that's where I'm at now.
Awesome. Yeah, Cardi Bravo, man. I remembered him from I like that tandem of him and Sean Dean, and it's
Oh,
amazing that.
and Sean Dean and David Ali. I mean, all those guys. I mean, those are some great guys really coming around now. Even Baron Black. Um, and I'm naming a lot of, African American stars because that's something that, we really need to see a lot more of. Not just us being, in
Yep,
matches, but us being in the fold, and coming out on top is,
brother,
is where we really need to be.
brother, trust me, man. You know, it's all good, man. I ain't, I'm a I like to like, see my people do good. I mean, I'm not a racist dude or anything. I don't have anything against it. I mean, as you can see, I got, Kathy and I got Rob, here. So, I mean,
Hmm.
I like, I'm not a racist dude, but at the same time, I like to see my people do good, especially since, we've come from a long way where you had guys that couldn't even like, face like, they couldn't even pin the white wrestlers. They couldn't.
Right.
And they were given like shucking and dance, shucking and jiving and dancing gimmicks. There wasn't really like anything open for them. And now you see today you have people like the New Day, you have um, Apollo Cruz, embracing his Nigerian culture, which
And
that's the way
Remy,
to
I'll
do
tell
it.
you, exactly. And I'll tell you, I just enjoy good wrestling, no matter what your color, sex, orientation, whatever it is. I enjoy good wrestling, great storytelling, and seeing just great skills in the ring. Not just that you can talk, not just that you can spend money on a great gimmick, but when I can see that pro wrestling has become a lifestyle for you, I think that shines through some wrestlers. And that's what I'm looking for as a fan, and now as someone who's understanding just a little bit more about the business. And so, I have so much more to understand and learn, but you're looking for people who can work well in the ring and can tell a good story, no matter what the situation or where you're at. And, for someone who, if I had the opportunities when I was 18 or 19 years old to even get in the wrestling business, I have plenty of friends who will tell you I would have jumped at that with, without hesitation, whether I was in college at the time or not. But unfortunately, for minorities during that time, we did not have a lot of outlets that were just there for us to just grasp and say, "Hey, I want to be in this business. I want to go there." Just like it was for basketball, football, and other sports. So for me at 34 to have the opportunity to do this and show that, hey, there are opportunities out there for us and for everyone, no matter who you are, to get out and try this. I mean, Nightmare Factory was just a great place for that, just a great place to learn and foster that type of idea. And I couldn't have asked for a better experience coming into the seeing what I really want to do and if I really want to do this.
Right. Yeah. Um, Sean D, man, yeah, I remember when he first started. I'm very glad that he got signed. I've watched his journey from since 2015, and I saw that he just now got signed, and I was like, yes, all the work paid off and so on. I remember him from Tough Enough when he submitted a Tough Enough video, and to see his evolution from then up until now, from
Hmm.
just being an applicant to now being signed. I'm very proud of that guy, and I'm hoping that they sign Carly Brown because I like that gimmick that they had where there were two. I'm an active duty member of the Navy myself, so I know where Sean is coming. I know where Sean Dean is coming from, and to see like two black military members coming out in the tag team, I really and truly hope they keep pushing that because
Absolutely.
that is something that representation counts, and those guys, I see those guys as representing, not because I know there's been other people that you got Bobby Lashley and others that have actually been in the military,
Mhm.
but to see these two men actually making it part of the gimmick, that's something that I'm very like, I take pride in.
They made it their lifestyle. And I told you, those are some of the best wrestlers. When we look at those good old days that we grew up in, that we talk about, wrestling was a lifestyle. That's who they really were, and them being able to be themselves, on TV. I mean, that's why you're enjoying their performances so much on top of their in-ring ability.
Right. So how was you guys after you guys graduated? You guys had a showcase, correct?
Yes.
So I know a lot of wrestlers, and it's okay, you don't have to answer this, but I know a lot of wrestlers don't like to talk about their first match. They're like, yeah, it's in a vault somewhere, 700 feet, below, and it'll never be seen. But how was your first match?
My first match was a great learning experience. Um, it was a feeling like no other. Being out there, those lights beaming down on you, people either screaming for you or booing for you. I mean, it's all you love it the same. It's that feeling that you used to hear about on all the documentaries growing up, that what draws them in, what makes them never want to quit, want to be 70 years old and still putting in the work. Um, that was that feeling that I felt out there. It just, it's hard to put into words. I mean, I'm sold. I'm sold on it. I'm sold on the business. Whether I'm in the ring full time, whether I am commentating or managing, producing, whether I'm an executive, which I hope to be someday, throwing that out there. Um, I, this business is where I want to be, and it's just being in that spotlight. Um, it's like no other. It's that feeling. I can't throw out there enough. 34 years old, experiencing this for the first time, and you're being out there with younger guys who were 18 and 19 in the class, who don't even know who Bastion Booger is. It just opens up your eyes and your world to a lot, and it's just like, man, like I'm here, and this is that feeling that I've read about for so many years, and I'm tapping into. I can't wait to do it again.
Honestly, RIP to Bastion Booger, but I don't think they're ready for that one. They might not want to eat dinner or breakfast, take a few breaths, sip some water, because I don't think they're ready for that, man. So some of these guys back in the day, they were like, wow, like yeah, but they might want to take it easy with that. But yeah, man. So the Cornerstone of Perfection, where'd that come from? Was that like how did that come about? And by the way, I gotta say, man, your entrance music, yo, woo, fire.
Appreciate it.
Hey, if I had a car, I would definitely bump that, yo. Just bump that up and down the road, man. And I do that too. Like I got like on my workout, I'm probably one of the few wrestling fans that actually works out to wrestling music. Um, I have the God new entrance theme, and that just gets me pumped up in the gym.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, man, good work on that, man. But where did Cornerstone of Perfection come from?
So actually, it came from who I am. It's my lifestyle. From when I was in college, I went to Morehouse College, joined a fraternity, and
Woo!
everyone back then, I'm an alpha, so everyone in my fraternity knows me as Dean Hiram, as a very intense perfectionist, believes that you don't just do things for the sake of it, very methodical, and you do things with intention, with purpose. And that's what the cornerstone of perfection is. Everyone has an opportunity to perfect their own cornerstone. Decide what that means for you. And for me, this is who I am. Doing good and doing the work is not enough. It's perfecting the craft in everything I do. Scholar Benjamin Elijah Mays, who was a former president of Morehouse College way back in the day, he always said, anything that you do, do it that no man living, no man dead, or no man yet to be born can do it better. So that's the mentality that I take in everything that I do. And I don't worry about the competition. I don't worry about other people, good or bad, heel or face. I'm all about what I can do and what I put forth. And I'm going to perfect my cornerstone each and every time.
Awesome. At Morehouse, that's a HBC, right?
It is HBCU in Atlanta, yes.
Yeah, it's Morehouse, Spelman, and I think Clark is the other one, right?
Yep,
There's
absolutely.
three of them. Yeah, man. Hey, I can imagine how them dances y'all used to do at the fraternities, man. Like the dances. Hey,
Yeah, I was
I wouldn't
actually
even try
the
that,
step
man.
master, and I actually, was over a lot of that when I was in school. So that's where Dean Hiram and a lot of that intensity comes from. A lot of the things that I learned when I was in my fraternity, just the intensity, stepping, putting everything forth. And when it's time for the show, it's 110%. You have 100% go or go home. So I'm used to performing in front of large crowds. And this is just where I need to be. I was able to be blessed enough to find a place, a happy medium to put it all together in one place and entertain you all. So I hope that you'll be entertained for years to come. And I'm excited.
Yeah. Every time I think of like the fraternities, I think of, I don't know if you know this movie. It's a Spike Lee joint. It's called School Days. It was
Absolutely.
Tisha Campbell's debut, and I was like,
Yes.
Rob over there shaking. Hey, let me tell you something, Rob. I'm gonna put you on blast. You see that guy over there, Rob? He's one guy that's invited to the cookout. That guy over there, Kathy too, but Rob.
Well, let me know when you're in Atlanta. I'll invite you over.
Don't worry, I don't put raisins in the potato salad. You know what I mean? Ain't no
Oh,
raisins in
you
no tater
know.
salad here, man.
Yeah, I would probably be the
Well,
one that would be like, I'd probably be the one that would put on some Limp Bizkit and be like, boy, if you don't take that off and put on some Keith Sweat or some
That's
Johnny
right.
Gill or some Gerald Levert, I'm like, geez,
My
man. Or
body
some
all
new
over
edition.
your body, baby.
See what I told you?
there we go, Ron. There we go. You're going into the right place.
That's right. That's right.
So I just got two more questions before I pass it over to Kathy. My next question is, now that you've graduated, one of your trainers, Cody Rhodes, he actually, when he left WWE, he put out a list of people that he wanted to face in the very near future. And a lot of wrestlers, proceed to do the same thing. They put it on social media. So my question is, who are your top five that you want to wrestle in the very near future? They could be from anywhere, WWE, AEW, the Indies. It doesn't matter.
So I'll tell you straight out. I definitely want to wrestle QT. Definitely would love to wrestle Cody. I mean, those are my trainers. It would be an honor to get in the ring with them. Just that whole mentality. Um, they're just great minds in the ring, and I'm all about, like I said, being methodical. So they will allow me to be able to tell a good story in that match as well. I would love to go against Carly Bravo. And I've told him that before because I feel like we will put on a very exciting and entertaining match. I would love, man, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Um, Once again, that's great storytelling right there, whether you're in the ring or not. I'm about that old school build up when we used to take about 4 or 5 months between the pay-per-views. So you had to get that storyline in, right? And then I probably want to go against someone like Daniel Bryan. I mean, why not? He's one of the best in the business right now. And I know you said only five, but I had to say The Miz because he's someone that can work with anybody. And obviously Chris Jericho, but it's Chris Jericho. So that's a few
Yeah,
more than what you said, but those are the ones,
it's
that have always been on the mind.
it's okay, man. There's a lot of talented people out there. Daniel Bryan, man, I'm looking forward to when he retires. I hope he opens his own school, man, because the awesomeness that he would bring to the wrestling community, like training the next batch, I can only imagine how it would be. Um, and plus, he was trained by Shawn Michaels, so
He's a true
it's
technician,
definitely gonna be
and
passed
you
down.
don't get that too often anymore. He's a true technician in the ring.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
So my last question before I turn it over to Kathy is, in terms of professional wrestling, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself working somewhere at a major company within the next 5 years. Um, like I said, yes, I want to be a wrestler. I am a pro wrestler, but I do have aspirations of working on the executive level within the wrestling business as well. So I'm going to do whatever I have to do to be involved in the business on every level to continue learning over the next 5 years, whether that be refing, whether that be as a wrestler, manager, maybe taking some booking jobs to learn how to book. I want to do it all because I see myself as being an executive in one of the major wrestling organizations within the next 5 years. And I'm telling you all that first because it's going to happen.
Awesome. Well, we definitely look forward to that. We definitely look forward to seeing that happen. We wish that happens for you as well. And I'll be like, yo, I'm very glad to see that, it worked out for him. Just like Diamond Sheik. I'm still baffled because Diamond Sheik, when we first had him on here, we found out about Diamond Sheik through his brother, that Scooby,
Scooby Doo.
who was wearing the Scooby Doo outfit. And the Scooby
Yeah.
Doo outfit was what really made us be like, you know what? I want to talk to that guy in the Scooby Doo outfit. He stands out, and his Twitter's talking about him. So I'm like, and some people were like saying, oh, the Scooby Doo outfit, the guy in the Scooby Doo outfit, da 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 da. And some people were like, yo, Scooby Doo's over. So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and see what's up with him. We hit him up, and then he had a brother who was the Diamond Sheik. And then when Diamond Sheik was on our 15 minutes of fandom segment, which is our segment where we interview fans,
Right.
and he eventually told us, yeah, he's training to become a wrestler. And now that I saw that he graduated, I'm like, you know, I'm very proud of him. I'm very happy for him. And yeah, man, I mean, I'm still like astounded. I'm still like amazed at how far he's come from being a fan to a wrestler.
And I'll tell you, Diamond Sheik is one of those people who he's one of those great minds that just understands the business and understands a lot that can happen in the business as well. So definitely be on the lookout for Diamond Sheik. I mean, he's awesome to watch, very entertaining, but even outside of the ring, he's one of those people that really wants to take a stance to understand the business and push forward in that manner as well. So
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Kathy. I know she has some questions for you, and then Rob's gonna ask some questions as well. Spoiler alert: if you are a Star Wars fan, Rob is probably gonna ask you a bunch of stuff about that and Marvel. So yeah, and Kathy's probably gonna talk to you about Southern foods because she's over there in Louisiana. So Kathy, go ahead. The
oh
floor is
baby, I
yours.
love Louisiana now.
All right, thanks, Remy. So how's it going, Dean?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So you mentioned Dusty Rhodes as one of your first memories of wrestling. Was it part of you saying, I'm gonna go into Cody's school? Did that influence you into going into it? That's Dusty's son and everything. So did that influence you at all?
It didn't influence me at all. Once I found that out, it was definitely a great, addition to that. It just made it that much sweeter. But I don't care whose school that was. When Carolyn responded to me, I would have gone to whoever's school it was, period, because I was just in that mindset. So, but it definitely made it that much sweeter to know that someone who's been in the business and was raised around the business for so long um, wanted to carry on what his dad believed, and that's training great wrestlers how to do great wrestling and not just how to be a wrestler. And it's an honor to be trained under that same kind of mindset. So it felt like I was being touched by Dusty a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I went to Access in Dallas for WWE for WrestleMania, and that was when they unveiled Dusty's statue. And after the ceremony, they passed by with Dusty's statue right next to me, and I was like, "Man, that was so bittersweet. I didn't know if I wanted to cry or cheer." I was like, "Man, that's so cool, but kind of sad at the same time."
Yeah, I definitely shed a few tears throughout this process, just having those same kind of nostalgic moments that you had. Just
Yeah.
being in the midst of some of the wrestlers, hearing some of the stories, especially from Glacier, who grew up in that, Monday Night War era that we're all so familiar with. Hearing his stories, I mean, if you really love this, you can help but get a little sentimental and nostalgic throughout. So.
Yeah. So what was the time frame from like being your first day in the Nightmare Factory to graduation? Like how long did that take?
It was about a little over 3 months,
Wow.
right at 3 months. Grueling, nonstop. You're working out from the time you get there at 5 until you leave at 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock. You're in the ring for a couple hours initially, going over different move sets. Getting some reps in, but then you go to conditioning for another 2.5 hours with Coach Ian, and he's a beast. Um, I've never had like personal training on that level, but he did not let up. He gave us the same type of training he did, other professional athletes. And that was a great thing about it is, they respected the fact that pro wrestling wrestlers are pro athletes. And it was great to be treated as such in that manner.
Awesome. So you said you want maybe in the future to like be a booker or a referee or something else in the business besides a wrestler. Do they teach you that too, or is it just straight up wrestling?
No, you have an opportunity to learn any part of the business that you're interested in.
Okay.
Um, it's just a matter of you figuring out how you're going to pull that out sometimes. So yes, wrestling in the ring is number one, but everyone, like I had a chance to referee a couple of matches within training and some things of that nature. So you can get a taste of a few different things throughout the process, whether that's if you want to be on production side, you can get some help and assistance with that as well. So I got to taste everything, and that's why I said it was so intriguing to get a little bit of everything and more than what I even bargained for.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would think they teach, a lot of different aspects, because it's not just straight up wrestling. Wrestling has a whole, it's refereeing, it's being
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, being a camera person, it's a production. Like, there's so many facets to wrestling. It's not just straight up wrestling itself. But speaking of straight up wrestling, so like we see on Tough Enough and shows like that where they're running the ropes and the next day they have rope burn and then like they have to take all this Advil. Like, was that the same thing you went through?
So fortunately for me, I have a pretty high tolerance for pain, pretty high threshold. So I didn't get a lot of the rope burns, and I don't know if it's because of my skin, melanin, or whatever, but I didn't get a lot of the rope burns, the bruises of that nature. But you definitely feel it. It's unforgiving, but you just learn to kind of ride through and keep moving with it. And at the school, they teach you how to do everything in a safe way. So if you're doing things the way they train you to do it, you'll be just fine. So Remy, you could get out there if you wanted, man. It's never too late for you.
38. I don't know. Maybe I could be like a bodyguard. Maybe I could be like a maybe I could be like a bodyguard, like your boy, Big Red's. I don't know what his wrestling is, or Big Red Security. Maybe I could I could be like that, but I don't know. I'll see.
Look, I need someone to talk for me. There we go. Between you and Rob.
There you go.
I'll actually be 40 this year and I have a busted neck, so like wrestling's out for me. But I definitely would do something in the, I'd be like a commentator, because I have a degree in mass communications. So I mean, I could do something there.
It's never too late, Kathy. I'm telling you, I want to be a beacon for people to know it is never too late to decide to try what you really want to do. So start watching some matches, record some dub overs with commentary, listen back, get your friends to see what it sounds like, maybe get another friend. We can do it together, Kathy. But I mean, there's, I'm just where one door is closed, there's a window crack somewhere, and if it's not cracked, keep knocking until someone opens it up,
Yeah, definitely. So, Remy had mentioned, he works out to WWE themes, but I saw you do too on your Instagram. You were jamming out to Stone Cold and Fozzy. So was that before you started training, or?
That was before I started training. Yeah, it's something about hearing that music really hit, and you just start getting into the mindset. Like whenever I play Triple H's music, I would feel like I'm really at WrestleMania and that long, a wait before he comes down the aisle. So, but what I've learned over the years, if you take yourself to a certain mindset, you start really buying into it, and it becomes, once again, a lifestyle. So, it becomes a norm. And so now whenever I lift, I don't even have to have the music, but I automatically hear it. And it's like, yes, I am the king of kings.
Yeah, that had to like put you in some really cool, mentally, psych you out a little bit. You're like, I'm training to wrestling videos. I'm gonna become a wrestler. Like that had to be awesome.
Yes.
So, we had Diamond Sheik on the show this past Thursday. Did you get to wrestle him, or you had any interaction with him too?
Oh, absolutely. I had quite a few interactions with him within training, in the ring and outside the ring. Like I said, he's one of those people that I will frequently have very intelligent, high level wrestling conversations with on the regular. He's just a great mind to work with. He's really good in the ring, and to see where he's come from for day one, it's incredible and amazing as well. So I look forward to working with Diamond Sheik in the future, whether that's with him in the ring, against him in the ring, alongside, whatever. I mean, he's one of those people that if I see his name on a board and you tell me to show up, I'm going to be there because I know it's going to be that worth it. So.
Yeah, I would imagine it's kind of like high school. Like you have this group of you go through high school together, and then it's like like wrestling wise, you go through all this together, and then you graduate, and then hopefully like they have high school reunions and stuff. Hopefully you have like wrestling reunions, and you get to show your progression and like wrestle the people that you actually graduated with. So that would be pretty awesome.
Yes, yes. Because I know I was in class with, I don't know if you all have heard of Dylan McQueen. Oh, he was in class with me, Dylan
Oh, the
McQueen.
Gatriarch.
He,
The Gatriarch.
yes,
What happened
he
with Pretty and
is.
Pink and yeah.
I'm telling you, he's another person I would love to be in the ring with outside of training. I did get to, kind of spar with him a little bit in training, but he's another great mind and great entertainer to work with in the ring. And, I always talk about before you get to the ring, he's great. I'm excited right now because I'm actually a fan of Dylan McQueen, so, and you don't get to say it often that you get to work next to people that you're truly a fan of. So that was an honor. So I look forward to seeing him and hopefully working with him in the future as well.
Awesome. So on Diamond Sheik's interview, he said he was an extra for Sting when they had the Sting and Darby Allin match. Have you done anything with AEW yet?
No, I have not done anything with AEW on that level yet.
Okay.
I still have some other obligations that I'm taking care of at the moment, probably for the next few months, as I continue to perfect my cornerstone, as I like to say. And then you're going to be seeing a lot of me as we push towards the fall, end of 2021, beginning of 2022. I'm coming out very hot and heavy. So I'm just perfecting that cornerstone right now.
Oh, nice. So I know with the pandemic and everything, so the Nightmare Factory is in Georgia, and then Dustin's school is in Texas, the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. Did you two schools have any interaction with each other, or just
No,
from the pandemic, like you couldn't really travel?
Yeah, just from the pandemic, we couldn't really travel. Even
Okay.
with our school, we were pretty much in bubbles with each other a lot. Either people were already living with each other that were in the training camp, or you were someone who was local, so you were really just working from home like myself, and then traveling to school. So we were pretty strict rules with needing to get tested once or twice a week, having to show the results. If anybody if there was any, chance that someone was exposed, we would immediately cancel class and wait it out till everyone got results to know that everyone was good and clean. So wasn't a lot of interaction. Would have been great to even do like, maybe a class versus class type of showcase or something. And that probably could still happen eventually. But no, not at this time. More so probably because of pandemic.
Yeah, that would be pretty neat if the two schools clash together. That would be awesome. I think that would be pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
So Cody and Dustin, if you're listening, get the two schools together when the pandemic's over and like put on a show. That would be awesome.
It seems like that'd be some great programming, right? We all like good
Yeah.
programming, so there we go.
And if I gave the idea, you're welcome.
Commentator, there we go. Bring you on in.
Hey, there we go. So I know, being in a school, you're taught wrestling and stuff like that. But what are some life lessons you get, taught along in the wrestling class? Like, what did you take away from the whole experience?
Slow down. That's the one lesson that I always keep hearing ringing in my ears. Even when I'm not in the ring. And Glacier would simply say that to me all the time. Coach Ray, he would just say, Dean, slow down. And slow down so you can think. Slow down so that you can understand what your next move is. Slow down so you can know what the next person's next move is. Just slow down. And I was able to really take that and transfer it into my personal life because I'm usually always on the go, always on the move. But what this really forced me to do was just slow down. Everything will come to you. Slow down. And I took that mentality in the ring, and I figured out some ways to apply it to my personal life, and it's caused me to slow down and better perfect my cornerstone.
Awesome. See, Remy and his catchphrase, he's like, catch him if you can. So, Remy, slow down. Slow down, Remy.
Hey, I'm a New Yorker. I can't help it.
So, the last question before I turn it over to Rob is, now that you graduated, what's next for you in the world of wrestling? Where do you go from here?
I'm continuing to study, continuing to learn, watching even more wrestling than I did before. A lot of local shows I'm tuning into, a lot of the Fight TV stuff. Anything I can get my hands on, I'm just watching, studying, continue to improve my body. I'll once again I tell people, we get in there and they talk about doing the work. That's great, but once you've done the work, what are you going to do? Perfect it. Turn it into a craft for yourself, because that's when it becomes a lifestyle, and that's when it becomes something that you begin to thrive in and really push yourself in. And if not, then, what did you do all these 12, 13 weeks for? So I'm at the point where I'm pushing myself to the next level. I want to get stronger. I want to get bigger naturally, continue to eat better. Like I said, I'm not getting any younger, so I have to continue to figure out ways to take care of my body. So I'm studying people like LeBron James, and see how he continues to keep going so many years. What are some of the things that he's attached himself to? So it's just about improving. Like I said, over the next 6 months, you're going to see me very quiet, because I'm being very silent, because I'm turning into a very intense person right now. So it's that bear. I'm sleeping right now. But once you let me out, I won't stop. So I'm slowing down, Kathy. I'm slowing down. So that way, when it's time to go full speed, my body can handle it. And that's where I'm at.
There you go. The calm before the storm, as they say.
Absolutely.
So before I turn it over to Rob, just want to say thank you, Dean, for coming on the show. And I am looking forward to seeing that storm that you eventually make and create, and would love to see where you go from here. So congratulations on graduating, and the sky's the limit.
Thanks,
So
Kathy. You've been awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you.
no problem. All right, Rob, your turn.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Kathy.
Kathy?
So what's going on, Dean, man?
Rob, what's up?
What's happening, man? How's everything going your way?
Oh, man, it's awesome, man. Once again, I'm just happy to be here. This is exciting.
That's right, man. It looks like
My
it's a nice
first
sunny day.
podcast. Yeah.
Woo! That's right.
On the
Man, it looks
record.
like it's a nice sunny day too, man.
It is. It's sunny Atlanta.
Oh, that's right. That's right, man. Yeah. I haven't been to Atlanta in, oh man, it's probably like 15 years, man. I've been like down there in Georgia and stuff, man. Oh man, I loved Atlanta. But every time I went to Atlanta, every time I stopped in the restaurant, man, the waitresses were always like, "Y'all want the sweet tea? Y'all want the sweet tea?" I was like, man, there was no other drinks, man. It's like water or sweet tea. I was like, all
right. Yep, that's the options.
Yeah, there you go. So, man, I gotta ask, man. Have you what during this shutdown stuff, man? Have you caught any new movies, TV shows, any of that good stuff, man? Anything you're watching? I'm always trying to find something new.
Yeah, so I'm one of those people. I watch any and everything on TV. So I watch everything from the Goldbergs to the Connors to, lately it's been mostly wrestling, but anything that's on, a lot of those major networks, it's on my DVR and I'm watching. But like I said, a lot lately, The Rock's new show has been hilarious to me. And being that I'm in that place, kind of being able to compare some maybe similar stories or similar situations has been pretty cool. But yeah, it's kind of hard to pinpoint, man, because literally I watch anything and everything. On Netflix, if it says it's new and it's hot, I'm watching it.
That's right.
So if you have any suggestions, I'm open to them, Rob. Please.
Man, I'm always watching like Always Sunny in Philadelphia and stuff like that, man. That show is hilarious. I think it's one of the most probably best written show ever, man. You watch it, you're like, oh my gosh, man. These guys, man, they're probably the most awful people, but you're like, yeah, I gotta see how it goes. You think the show's going one way, and then they just take a hard right.
Oh
yeah.
Like,
Oh my God! Like,
You thought they were being sweet, but they were being ruthless.
oh yeah, and they'll just go in on each other too, man. They don't care. Like one episode is like Danny DeVito sets Sweet D on fire, and he literally does, man. It's like, oh my gosh.
You know, it reminds you of things that you do with your friends. That's why that show was so great.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. So, like earlier, man, you were talking about being in a frat, man, and yeah, what was that like, man? Was that awesome? Because when I used to work at McDonald's back in the day, we were across the street from this college, Dell State, and I used to work with a guy. He was in a frat there. He was always like, man, you gotta come to this party, man. Da, 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 you gotta come out. I was always like, nah, man, because I didn't go to college. I had no frame of reference what a frat is except what I seen on the movies, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, no. He's like, no, it's not like that. Come on. I'm like, all right. I go there, man, the first party and all. It's like, all right, the ladies, they're painting you and your full body and stuff. You paint the ladies and the full body and stuff. Clean. So I was like, yo, how do I join a frat now? You know what I mean? I'm trying to go to college. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, this is all I want to do, man. But at last party I went to, man, they were sitting there like new members. I guess they were done. They were getting branded. Like that, because they're right there on their thigh and stuff. I was like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll head on out, man. I was like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, fortunately enough for me, my specific alpha chapter, we don't do branding like that. So fortunately enough, I'm glad I didn't do any branding. But man, it's an experience like no other. The Alpha Row chapter at Morehouse College, that is a shout out to you. It would have made my college experience like no other. I mean, the people that I met from all different cultures, different backgrounds, people with different professions, all the doctors and lawyers that I know that I probably wouldn't have met in the other setting. It's amazing just to meet a group of successful people and people who believe in one common goal in college, that's peace, doing community service, having a good time, and showing off some steps and some strolls. That's what it's about. I'm happy to say I am a national champion.
Nice.
And in my chapter, they have been consistent national champions for the past few years. So it's an experience like no other. And homecoming, when you go back, is even better. So Rob, you got to come down from one of our Morehouse Spelman homecomings.
Oh,
that's where you get the experience, and I'll take you around.
That's right. I was going to go to Howard homecoming one time, man. A friend of mine was going to take me. And I was like, oh, man, I was ready for it. But, things happen, man. I was like, man, couldn't make it. And that's something I always wanted to go to. I was like, yo, I'm going to Howard. Like Biggie said, Howard homecoming with my man Capone Gummy. Yeah. Yes.
Rob, Kathy, and Remy, you all are invited to one of our homecomings. Just let me know. We're going to get rocking. I'll take care of you all. We'll be good.
That's right. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome.
Hey, honestly, I'm right next door here in North Carolina, so I could probably make it happen. I mean,
hey, man,
it ain't that far.
That's about a 4-hour drive for you, right?
I think it's like 7 hours from here to Atlanta, because I'm in Jacksonville.
Oh,
I'm over here in Jacksonville, North Carolina, not Jacksonville, Florida, but yeah, I think it's like a 7-hour drive from here.
You can do it. We got enough party time for you.
That's right. So I do got to ask, man, like, who's your gear maker and stuff, or do you do your own thing? Because, man, you also got this badass cane that you got, man, that little pimp stick with like a little pharaoh on the top. Man, that thing was awesome, man.
I actually have it here.
Woo!
So this is what I refer to as my dean staff.
That's right.
So when I was in a fraternity and I was the dean, I was able to carry around a similar staff like this, where I would give certain directives, maybe during steps or doing certain movements and things. So I would just raise it to give certain directions. So when I told you all, it's a lifestyle, the best characters are a part of yourself. So what you're seeing, Dean Hiram, is who I am. That's right. What you're getting. So this is just an ode to my fraternity, so to speak, paying homage to them and for them being a part of who Dean Hiram is today.
That's right. That's pretty awesome. Now, we were talking about the showcase earlier and stuff, man. People were cheering and stuff, man. Yeah, what was that like, having people chanting, booing, cheering, whatever? Did you get goosebumps? Were you like, yeah, this is awesome?
I'm one of those people that I feed off of that. So once I hear it, I get more intense and I just like feed into it more and more. So it was perfect for me. It was like it was like a good energy drink, like
Mm-hmm.
like it was a good 5 hour energy boost at all times, just nonstop. In which is why, Kathy, I had to learn to slow down.
That's right.
Because I mean, really, I mean, it's if you're really into it and you're buying into your character and what you're doing at that moment and what you're wanting the audience to buy into, you're going to buy into them as well. So with every boo, I'm like, yes, that's what I want. Give it to me more. What else can I do to get a bigger boo? Or what else can I get to get a bigger chant?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just like a good energy drink nonstop throughout. Like it's already in my veins. Like they got the IV in, and I'm just going, and
That's
they're
right.
just feeding it.
That's right. Yeah, man. Yeah. See, I had that same feeling, man. Yesterday, I shout out to 1CW. Sean Hardy, Sean Carlson let me help out work security and stuff yesterday. I got to work security and stuff. We're like, cleaning the ropes and stuff, and the crowd, chanting, clean that ring, stuff like that. The other guys, they're all like, me. I'm seeing, I can't help myself, man. I just turned to the crowd, was like, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah, and they're just like,
yes,
woo! See, and then the owner, he comes out there, he's like, that's a debut. We like to say that. I'm like,
yes.
see, I
Seize the
can't.
moment,
Yeah, I
Rob.
can't
That might
help
have
it.
turned into something for you. You never
Yeah,
know.
that's
Seize
right.
the moment.
That's
It
right.
might be their only moment. Cody, and I'm sorry, Rob, just real quick. Cody,
Oh, you're good.
and QT, they always used to say, no, they're not in WWE, but they will always say, treat every moment like your WrestleMania moment. Everyone talks about they want their WrestleMania moment. I don't care who you are. It's a global understanding of what that means, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he always just say, whether you're in WrestleMania or not, every time you get out in front of somebody, treat it like it is your WrestleMania moment, like you'll never get it back. And that's what you did, Rob. I love
That's
it.
right.
I love
That's
it.
right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. It's in my blood now, man. Yeah, they're starting their school back up in the summer, fall. I'm like, yo, I'm going. I want to learn to be a ref or manager or something, man. It's in my vein. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. That's
You'll
right.
be mad at yourself if you never at least try it.
I know. Yeah. See, because when I was younger, I always wanted to, but I never had a way. Didn't know anybody or didn't know what to do. I was just like, Now, doing the podcast, meeting people. So now I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Like you said, better late than never. I don't even care. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm pushing it up there in age. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'll still go do it.
And you got a little experience up here that some young people probably don't have. So, you can
Yeah.
pull out some things that haven't been seen in 20 years.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, man. When I was helping put the ring together, man, some young guys, man, wrestlers, man, they were like, "Are you a trainer or something?" I'm like, "Really? Nah, man. I ain't no trainer, man. I'm just, man. You know more than me. I'm learning how to put this ring together just myself, man. I'm happy to be here. I
There
did
we
get to hit
go.
that rope, man, and stuff. Bounce off it, man. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. If anybody ever says y'all fall on these soft pads or anything,
Mm-mm.
no. You gotta tell them all right then, man. I literally sat there when we put the pads down. I'm like, all right, man, we're putting something else down there. I was like, nope, that was it.
Nope.
All right. All right, man. So yeah, y'all. Oh man, I knew y'all fell hard and stuff. It wasn't soft, but yeah, woo. Put it in perspective. Woo,
Yeah.
man.
And you can imagine even taking a bump outside the ring.
Woo. Oh
That's
man.
that's a 1 inch pad right there. We all had those in grade school, for tumbling. It's 1 inch pad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah, because I used to wrestle in high school, and those pads we wrestled on there were thicker than the ones y'all had. I was like, woo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Oh man. So I do gotta ask, man. You got to train with Glacier and stuff, man. Did he teach you any moves, man? Or any entrances, man? Because my brother, that was like my brother's favorite wrestler when we were kids, and he was always into Mortal Kombat. He loved Sub-Zero. I love Scorpion. So Glacier was his favorite, man. So yeah, ain't Glacier tell any cool stories or show you any cool moves? But yeah, this is how you do an
You,
entrance because his entrance, man. Yeah.
he was very good with really pointing out the showmanship. Those little things
Mm-hmm.
that make a difference. And they're things that you would know just on your own, or you may have done them and not known that you were doing them. But I mean, there's so many things that Coach Ray or Glacier taught us. But it's those little things. It wasn't so much the arm drags and the drop kicks. It was And not even just the great stories that he had, because he always has a great story. I mean, a great story that is always, germane to what's going on in the moment. But it's the little things that he would stop and point out to you. And, Kathy, I keep throwing out slow down because that was one of those little things. But when you really understand what he's saying by slow down, it's like, oh, I couldn't tell a complete story because I was moving too fast. I took that away from the fans. Like, so it's those little things that, it just, you can't put it into a book. You can't put it into words, can't write it down and scribe it and be able to regurgitate it the same way. It's those little things that he would catch in a moment to say, yeah, that was good, but imagine if you did this. And like your whole world is like, wait, all I had to do was move to the left instead of to the right. And it made it that much more dynamic and told that much greater story. Slow down.
That's right.
Timing, slow down, and work with the person you're in the ring with, not against. If one big thing he always said is you can be the greatest wrestler in the world, but if the other person looks bad in your match, then you both look bad. It's not one person, it's two people in the ring. So you both had to come out looking good. Whether you're heel or face, you both had to come out on top. You can't make a heel look too dumb. You can't make a baby face look too weak. So find the happy medium, communicate, slow down, and let it come to you. Slow down, let it come to you. You feel that, Kathy? That I clearly got that a lot, right? But yeah, so he's just a great mind. I mean, I can't say it enough. Like I can listen to him. He's like the uncle you can listen to talk to all day. Like literally, I can listen to Ray talk for 8 hours straight, just like this. Ooh, what you got next?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So man, yeah, you also had, man, I heard that y'all's training and new weight training and nutritionists and stuff there was like top notch and stuff, man. Yo, did you ever take any of those tips, to lead outside, to keep, your not your strength, because we say around here your strength, what I mean, keep your strength and diet and all that good, up, man. Did y'all take any of that stuff, home with you?
Well, actually, I don't know about everyone else, but I was about once again perfecting the craft. So anything that they gave me while I was at the facility, I took home. Coach Ian, he handled a lot of the actual physical training and the weight training part of it. Carolyn did a lot of the meal plans and nutrition. I still continue with a lot of her suggestions on the diet. Because I like the way my body came out looking, and it's never looked like that before, to be honest. So yes, I kept doing her diet for the most part. And then Ian, with his training, there's a book. We used to train at Chip Smith's training facility. He's well known in the football world because he's trained a lot of professional athletes. So if you Google Chip Smith, he'll come up. But he actually has a book that's available on Amazon. And a lot of the workouts that we did, Ian took directly from that book. So I bought the book, brought it home, and kept good notes of a lot of the workouts. And I use that same book to continue my workouts because you're not going to get a body like that by just going back to what you did before. And, I was lifting before I started training for about 6 months, and that was nothing in comparison to the last 3 months. So, yeah. I do everything that we did in training. I bought all the same equipment that we had there, from the bungees to the strength conditioning, everything, because I take it that serious. I'm not here to just be another wrestler, fulfilling a dream, because for me, it's about bigger than fulfilling my dream, but allowing others to be able to have an opportunity to see that they can reach theirs, So it's bigger than me. And anytime you're doing something that's bigger than you, you should always put 110% forward, because you never know who's watching or when they're watching.
That's right. And then you cited a good example before, man, LeBron, man, doing what he does, man, because he's like my age, man. He's still up there top of his game, man, just doing it. You don't want to be like AI, man, because I remember when I was younger, we go to we go to wrestling shows in Philly and stuff, and it'd be like midnight or whatever, and we literally see AI out there with his crew or whatever, man. It'd be like there was a Fridays out there. I can't remember where it was at. They were always out there all night drinking. All night drinking. Then be like, yeah, you go out there, you meet them. Then they'd be like, yeah, we're going out to Atlantic City and stuff. It's like, don't y'all have a game tomorrow? Like, yeah. Man.
Don't you play the #1 team in the West tomorrow?
Y'all are going against Kobe and Shaq, in the finals, man. What's up with that, man? Come on. It's like, nah, man, I'm going out gambling tonight. It's like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yo, excuse my dogs out there, man. I think, the Amish are coming by with some horses, man, because I live out in the country, and for some reason, my one dog does not like horses for some reason, man. She goes crazy. So, now I do got to ask 2 more real quick questions, man. I got to ask, man, how'd you learn to tie a bow tie? And would it be easy for me to tie one, man?
Honestly, I learned when I went to Morehouse. That's when I learned to tie a bow tie. I went to college. Some guys in the fraternity, I saw them wearing bow ties, and it looked like a step up from a regular tie. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of them, the big brothers, they just taught me how to tie it. Now, I still reference the internet. So you can go online and literally I go through and watch the steps to get it just right. So, okay. Never be afraid to look at a manual or Google. I still do it for everything, even though I was taught in college.
That's right. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, man, I couldn't tie a tie. I can do one now, but I remember I would tie it and then just loosen it up, take it over my head, and just hang it on my doorknobs, and then when I need it again.
Hey, I still do that sometimes. So my favorite ties, if I get a good bow in it, I'm not taking it out, Rob. No.
Oh, I can see that, man. Yeah, because then you got to tie it back up again and all that stuff. Yeah, I just tighten it up. You good to go. Now, good. Before I pass it back to Remy, man, I gotta ask, man, do you have any funny training stories or anything you could share? Like, anybody, you're doing suplexes and stuff, and all you hear is like stuff like that stuff, man. Like anything funny?
So it's not real. I'll tell you, it was kind of a funny story against me, and I don't have too many that's out of the norm of like people, fluctuating and things like that, just because we were all on protein diets and all things like that. So, anything could happen. But I remember, and this is actually a story involving the Sheik, Diamond Sheik. We were doing some reps and we were learning belly to back suplexes. And I'm a person that likes to challenge myself to lift and fight the biggest person in the room. I'm one of those people. Like, I'm just not afraid. So I would probably be that kind of wrestler. Like, look, give me the biggest person in the room to go after, right? And work with. So at this point, we had finished, doing a couple reps. And Diamond Sheik, no one had suplexed him yet. And it was his turn. So I was like, hey, I'll suplex him. And everybody was looking at me like... Yeah, right, little Dean Hiram. You're not about to suplex Diamond Sheik. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to suplex the Diamond Sheik. I am the cornerstone of perfection. This is what I'm going to do. So I got in and like, they were all just looking at me like, oh, like this is just a cartoon, coyote waiting to happen, coyote smash from Looney Tunes. But I was able to do it. It was still some good laughter because I definitely had to put all into it. But a lot of those stories were the funniest. Me just trying to lift up people that were 6 times my size. But you only live once, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But I got it,
That's right. There you go, man. That's right, man. Oh, man. Now, I'm going to say before I pass it on back to Remy, man, I want to say thank you for, taking time out of your day, coming on, chatting with us, man. It was a blast to chat with you, man. And I wish nothing but the positive things for you, your family. I hope you get all the bookings, man. I hope in 5 years you got your own school, you got your own company, running it executive style, you know what I mean? Doing boss hog things, you know what I mean? So
appreciate it, Rob.
That's right, man. So yeah, man. So I hope you have a great day and all that good stuff, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Dean, I gotta say, thanks a lot for appearing on our show. I look not that you've actually Rob. I look forward. I can imagine Rob doing his own joining wrestling and now doing his own special move called the bass drop, and Kathy be like, "Oh gosh, it's coming! It's that one move that actually takes on everybody. Here it is, the bass drop. Oh,
the bass drop.
The party is over." But I gotta say, man, congratulations on graduating. I wish you all the best. If you have any merch, man, like let us know. We'll promote it. We promote a lot of people's stuff and so on. If they have it available, we're that kind of
No
we got
sweat,
that kind of
baby.
pod.
No sweat. Remember, no sweat.
Oh, that's yours.
When times get hard, when you go up against whatever, remember, no sweat, baby. No sweat.
Yeah, definitely send us a picture. We'll definitely promote that, man. But really and truly, thank you for actually taking time out of your busy schedule to be on
I'll
our
send you
show.
all a free shirt.
All right. Hey, if I'm ever in Atlanta, I gotta get some free. I had a lot of y'all. I had you. Now that we had you, we had Diamond Chic, we had Charlie Avell, we had Rain Rivers, who would probably scare me if I ever saw her. Shalonce Royal on the show. I got a Nasty Leroy. I gotta get some shirts on there for y'all next time I'm in Atlanta, man. Definitely. But we got our own merch as well too. But yeah, I gotta say before we let you go and before we close the show, where can wrestling fans find you on social media if they want to find out when your next appearance is, if they want to purchase merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you if they want to book you for their shows?
So right now, everything is the same. Dean Hiram Corner is my Instagram. Dean Hiram Twitter. Dean Hiram Corner @gmail.com for bookings. So if you just look up Dean Hiram Corner, it's the same for Twitter, Instagram, and my Gmail for bookings as well.
Awesome. Y'all wrestling fans, definitely follow this man. He came from one of the most elite wrestling schools in the country, the Nightmare Factory, Georgia. So definitely, follow him and, just experience his growth and evolution and whatnot, because 90% of your wrestlers that you see on TV, where they come from, the indies, so definitely follow him as well. And, support indie wrestling, purchase the merchandise, go to the shows. Y'all got a showcase coming up too, right?
Yeah, the showcase. It should be coming out here in the next. I won't say exactly when, but very soon. So you'll be seeing a lot of us advertising.
All right. Well, definitely just let us know. We'll definitely promote it on our page as well. Let our followers know. If you're in Atlanta or if you got them buddy passes. I know some of y'all there got them buddy passes. Y'all be flying for free. Y'all could use that buddy pass. Yeah. I once traveled to a show up in New York when I used to live in Fort Lauderdale. On my flight benefits when I used to work for Spirit. So yeah, y'all definitely yeah, y'all definitely support indie wrestling, man. But it is that time for us now to shut down the show. My eyes are getting heavy and my stomach is getting rumbly. So it's time. That means time for. Wait, we got another show after this, anyways. We got 15 minutes of fandom, but it's time for a snack. But before we actually shut it down, Rob Bass, where you at on social media, so that fans can find you, talk about wrestling, purchase merchandise, all that good stuff. Where you at?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Rob_Base82, and Facebook, YouTube, and all, Xbox, Rob Base.
Awesome. Kathy, and where are you at on social media?
So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Twitch, and YouTube, all at BLUE70517.
She's everywhere. And if you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything interesting to say, you can definitely find me on Twitter at @TheRemyBlue. You might get lucky and hear me say something cool, but who knows? But our podcast is also on Twitter at Ringside Society. Our podcast is also on Instagram at Ringside Society. And we're also on Facebook. Yes, we have a Facebook group where this show is actually being broadcasted as well. And we're also on YouTube. So subscribe to our YouTube, all the videos, not just particular ones, all the videos, subscribe, join our Facebook group, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and check out our Teespring store. We got a lot of cool merchandise there. We got St. Valentine's Day apparel. We got our original shirt, our St. Patrick's shirt. We got a flag shirt. We have an Attitude Era-esque adult risque one coming out. So definitely check that out as well. And we will be back after this with a. So make sure you actually tune into our channel. We have another show coming up called 15 Minutes of Fandom, where we actually interview wrestling fans. We have aspiring wrestler Nate Outrage, who is also a YouTuber, on our show coming up. So definitely stand by for that. And also this Tuesday, we will be having, I don't know if this is his right ring name, Big Red Security. That's right, the same class that our guest Dean Hiram came from. He will be on our show as our guest as well this Tuesday. So make sure you stay tuned and make sure you're there for that, because we're looking forward to hearing his awesomeness as well. And if I'm correct, he was actually trained in MMA as well.
Oh yeah,
So
he's serious.
definitely
He's
make sure.
serious. He's serious.
So definitely make sure you tune in for that. But until then, we just want to say here that we just want to thank everybody that tuned in live. Thank you very much. We know you could have been doing something awesome, but the fact that you chose to tune in to us means a lot to us. To those of you that are going to watch us later on, thank you in advance. And to those of you that hate us, can't stand us, and really and truly wish we would shut down shop and go away, well, we're sorry you feel that way, but we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
We ain't stopping for sure. But with that being said, we here at Ringside Society are very well aware that everybody and their grandparents ever have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not as any podcast. Rob Bass, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the cornerstone of perfection, Dean Hiram. No sweat, baby. And no cap.
Slow down.
What type of podcast are we?
Slow down. All right, 3, 2, 1.
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, with the Wrestling Fans Podcast. So with that being said, y'all stay tuned. We got 15 minutes of Fathom coming up. If y'all can't watch that show, well, until then, stay healthy, stay safe, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.
Bye.